Hey y'all, it's Trey and you're listening to him. Look, we have made it. It's episode 11. It feels so good. What have y'all been up to?
Whoop, 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 whoop. Just pretty much just working and going to school. It's been amazing to be a part of the podcast and just create and whatnot. So I'm glad that we're back with another episode. Hey, girls.
Hey, this is Stevie. I've basically just been trying to get back into the gym and also get a new job. I filled out like maybe 15 applications and a bitch needs some coins for the new year coming up. And I've just been doing that, like gym and finding a new fucking job. That's pretty much it.
What's up, y'all? You know, I haven't really been doing much, just working and shit. I'm actually trying to reinsert myself into the dating world, trying to take slow steps, baby steps back into it. I kind of been out of it for a bit, and I actually haven't dated since I landed in New York City. So it's time, you know. So I'm starting to look at prospects and, you know, see what I got. There's a big pool of dating here.
Yes.
So I'm trying to, you know, find somebody that appeals and take it from there. So that's basically what I've been doing.
Ooh, we gonna have a new roster. I can't wait. I'm gonna help pick. But no, he's been saying that since he's moved here, so I'm not even taking that serious because he's always been looking for a man, a bae, or something.
I know, and I got dates lined up for this nigga, so I'm like literally real fine ass niggas lined up for him. So when he ready, he know where to find me.
Bitch, you didn't offer that service to anybody else. I'm starting to think that you and Aaron have this friendship that is better than the rest of us.
We do.
And I'm really feeling some type of way a little bit, you know.
I'm not feeling no type of way though. Do what y'all do.
But whatever, you know, I got friends. I don't really need
Malik
y'all.
and I have known each other since like 2011.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck. You think I care, nigga? Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
I love y'all.
Bitch, you always inserting yourself when you don't need to be inserted. I said me.
The shade of it
Lord.
So I want to bring it. I'm sorry. I want to bring it and ask you, Aaron. Is it, you know, are you doing a light dating? Or are you looking to date someone serious? Or are you just like looking to get out of the house type?
So I think it's a mixture of the first one and the third one. I think it's I want to do light, and I also want to get out of the house. I think that dating somebody seriously is not something I want to do immediately, being that it's been such a while since I've dated and since I've been in a relationship. I think that starting out, I don't want to shop for a husband just yet. I think I want to, you know, just take it real slow and just see how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? Test the waters before I get too deep. Of course, if I meet somebody and I start getting deep, I'm not going to stop it from happening. But, you know, right now, I think I just want to start off skimming the surface.
And it's starting with the feet.
You notice I said skimming the surface and testing the waters. That all involves toes. You know what I'm saying? Mrs. Kim.
That is so I can't. But God, and look at you. You still looking for a man already, and we're not even. We are recording a show. And he's finding a man while we're recording.
You know, it's so much dick around the location that we record at, so you know.
He on the lookout. It's okay. We here for it. Let him find him a man, girl. Leave him alone.
Lord. Okay, so here's our first topic for the day. I'm gonna give a shout out to our Black princess. Yeah. I love. You know, I am into the royal family of all nations, but this having a Black princess. Now, I need Aaron to help me say her last name because I don't get it right.
Yeah, please.
Meghan Markle. Markle, what the fuck ever. Oh. She's the Black princess, and I'm going to call her Meghan.
No shade, my baby. And what's her resume?
She, I think she started off as a... what is that show called? The Deal or No Deal? She opened the suitcases on that. Yeah, and I don't really know like the full deal, but I know that she was on the show Suits. She actually is on the show Suits. She's an actress. And that's all I know about. I mean, the in between, I'm actually not too sure.
No. I'm still gagging because this bitch used to open up motherfucking suitcases.
She's a regular girl, bitch.
On Deal or No Deal, and now this motherfucking bitch is about to marry the Prince of Wales, bitch.
God is good.
I'm here for it. And you know, the prince is kind of cute. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd marry his ass.
I would definitely marry Harry before I marry William.
Also insane.
Bitch, Harry been fine to me. And if it wasn't gonna be me, I'm happy as her. Cause you know,
No shade, bitch. I was plotting on it too.
yes. If look, Rihanna was plotting too. You saw her; she was trying to get herself into the royal family, and I'm happy that if it wasn't me or Ree, it's Megan. It's somebody black. I still don't care. You know, I just wanted to make sure that a black person was going to be in that lineage even more. Not know that little 25% because you know some of the royals did they dirt. But I wanted a good 50% of them children to be black. I need a new nation.
There's so many memes floating around regarding this topic and her, you know, about to be or her being a part of the royal family. And it was pretty much to the point where someone made a hashtag that said, "Pound Nuck if you Buckingham Palace."
I was here for that one.
No shade. That was literally the littest one. And I just want to say, shout out Megan, my Banshee princess. We are out here. We support you. And we had black people and a black family in the White House. And we have transcended to Buckingham Palace. And I love it. I
And
really
understand that I'm going to buy a full tuxedo and sit on the couch and watch that wedding like I'm actually there.
in my whole 1-bedroom apartment, bitch.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. We're having a hymn watching party for the royal wedding.
Lit.
It's gonna be over Trey's little small pinto box dorm room. But I'm just saying we are going to have a watching party. I'm excited. Like this is bigger than Gucci and Keisha.
You know, I might not come to the watching party, but I'm definitely gonna watch it. It's gonna be great, and I'm super excited. Yeah.
Oh my God.
See, bitch, the fact that you thought you were invited was the funniest part.
No.
Anyway,
Y'all are something else. Y'all
any
listen.
fucking way.
Yes, him.
I'm
We gonna
so
all be there.
excited for my girl Megan, though. Oh, I wonder what type of dress she gonna wear. I hope it's scandalous.
We will definitely see.
Y'all, I am so excited for this wedding. But anyway, we got to go on to our show because what the fuck, we can't be talking about her all damn day. And our first topic is we want to discuss what are some things that you don't discuss in your relationship until after it's too late. Like, what are some things like, I mean, boundaries or goals and aspirations or education wise? Like, I know that you want to have goals for your relationship. So maybe once you see like you're like going through it and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna let them figure their own path, figure their own way, and then you go through the relationship and it turns out to be a dud. Should you have talked about your goals first before you got in this relationship? Should you have been like, hey, I expect that you going to either be working or trying to figure out a career. You're not going to be able to sit in the house all day. Or should you just be like, it is what it is?
Specifically, like the last relationship that I was in, or just something that was I call a relationship. One thing that I didn't do that I realized I should have done now, looking back at the situation, is set realistic boundaries for myself and for the relationship. One thing that I have a problem doing is I don't mind being, how do I put this? I don't mind doing anything for someone or changing for someone to accommodate them. But I'm realizing as you get older, that's something that you either don't need to do or you need to do for like the right person. So I'm learning how to set boundaries because sometimes you're just hanging out with somebody and, you start to like them and then it turns into something else. And then like, y'all are boyfriends now. And it's just like, well, I wasn't even expecting this and I wasn't planning for this. So again, I would say that setting boundaries is really important. And that's one of the reasons why I asked you, like, if you're really getting back if you really want to get back to dating, like, are you like dating to be serious? Are you just out here wanting to fuck? Because I think that's also a bigger thing. It's just like we're meeting these guys and they're beautiful and they're handsome and we're like really just going with the flow is what we call it. But, we have someone on one hand that really wants something serious, and then we may have the other person just wanting to fuck. And like 6 months down the line, you're going to be devastated.
And I touched on communication. That was the in previous episodes. That was the real point of any sort of relationship, whether it be you just fucking or if you're dating or you're heading towards a relationship. I think that communication is always key, and it's become such a buzz phrase. Communication is key, but it's so true, especially if you want something to last. And I think that if you just communicate, hey, this is what I want from jump. Sometimes you got to remind that person because they might develop something and they might be thinking you're developing it too. And if their actions start to show that they're starting to see something different than what you're seeing, then it's time for you to be like, yo, remember right at the beginning we established this. I still feel this, I don't know. I think that I would really like to just, like, I don't want to declare that I'm looking for a relationship like immediately, because I think that I might be selling myself short doing that because it's been such a while, and I don't want to end up in something that I think might be more than what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I would really rather just, and I don't want to say go with the flow because it sounds awful.
Just about to say,
but
It's inevitable.
I would really rather just I want to go on a date, and just like see where that date takes me. Not necessarily go into date and be like, "Ooh, I can't wait to move into this nigga house." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would really rather just go on a date and see what it gives. You know what I'm saying? But I have to be honest with that person because if they're shopping for a husband, ain't no wrong in that. But that's not what I'm giving you right now. You know what I'm saying? So, take it back to Trey's question. I think that speaks to misrepresentation. You try a lot to impress the person that you're with, and I tweeted about this actually. When you're first starting to date somebody, you're not going to show your 100% true self. You're just not. That's just not a thing because everybody has their things. Everybody has their baggage, their past, and what have you. And you're not gonna just like walk up and sit down at the table and be like, yeah, I've been battling clinical depression and this nigga broke my heart about 2 months ago and I'm just trying to find a way to wake up every day. Like, you're not going to necessarily start with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to tell them all of your secrets on the first date because let's face it, you are trying to impress them. Mm-hmm. Now, on the other foot, you know what I'm saying? Misrepresentation is trash. Don't take it to a level to where you're being somebody that you're completely not because they're going to find out who you are anyway. But it's okay to put your best foot forward. So my answer to the question is I don't really do that. I think that you waiting to find something out until later is awful, especially if it's, considerable and might have effects on the relationship. So if I feel that we're heading in that direction, I'm going to tell you, hey, this, you know what I'm saying? So that way it's on the table and you know what you're dealing with. And then later it's not a surprise. People romanticize the whole, you know what I'm saying? He got problems, but I'm with him anyway. And it's like, you make yourself into a hero for taking on somebody else's emotional baggage. And that's damaging for both you and that person because you're taking on their shit, which means that they're not healing it. They're just passing it to you. And you're taking on shit that you're going to carry into your next relationship because let me tell you something, it's not going to last. So you're going to take that shit that you took from them, make it a part of your life, mix it up with your shit, and then pass it on to somebody else. And it becomes a cycle that never ends. So I'll say again, communication is 100% key. So that's my answer to the question.
That was a word from Aaron. I love that. That was really good. My thing is, I've always been like a go with the flow type of girl with relationships and dating. But I've also been the type of person like if I've been on a date, and someone isn't giving me the vibe of it like going any further, I'll stop it. Like I'll be like, okay, listen, I don't want you to get it confused and think that we're about to take it anywhere else than where it's already going. I'm cool with being your friend. And some people cannot take that. They really hate the point where you're like, I don't want to date you. I just want to be your friend. No one likes to be friend zoned, but it's gonna happen because not everybody wants to be with you. Like nobody wants to take it to the next level or date you or be your husband. It's just like, you're cool. I liked how we vibe, but I don't want to date you. I think the friends part is better for us. And some people cannot take that at all. Like, you're my friend now? I thought we were, no, listen. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page when it comes to that. Like, don't take what I'm saying to heart, but it's just like I am feeling a certain way. Like I just don't want to be in that relationship with you because I've had times that I've been on dates and it turned to like sex or whatever, and then I'm like, listen, I really don't want to take it any further with you. I just want to leave it as friends, and we just had sex, and sex can be the part that messes it all up too. Like you could just be like, what the fuck is going on? I don't want to be in a relationship with this person, but listen.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying anything like in the relationship. I'm thinking about after the relationship is over. So, are there things that you think like, well, damn, maybe if I said this, that relationship, we wouldn't have had that issue that would have ended us, or that would have made things turn out a different way. So, like I'm saying, like, if you expect or want your partner to go to school, have a second education degree, right? Secondary education degree. I'm sorry. And right now they're not. And when you got in the relationship, it's not something that you really hammered on. But now that you're getting older, you want this. Do you say that then, or do you wait until afterwards and be like, maybe I should have said this, and we wouldn't have been spending so much time getting deep into a relationship, and now we've broken up and I'm upset. Maybe I should have said this up front, and I would have known, oh, well, this person doesn't want that for themselves, and so let me move on, or let me make sure that this is, or let's just talk about it, or just, if that's not what you want, then let me change how this relationship is for me. I'm not going to go as deep.
Well, I think that one thing that you mentioned, one guy that I was dating, we sat down and we had dinner, and I was just like, hey, I'm not really trying to take this any further unless you're like trying to enroll in school. And it wasn't after the relationship. We were like knee deep in getting to know each other. But I think we live in New York City, and you have to have a certain amount of income to live comfortably here. And that's something, and just the lifestyle that I want for myself, and even the lifestyle that I have now, it requires me to handle certain responsibilities. And I don't, because we're going to get into this later, I don't ever think that, I'm not saying that success is tied to education, but in some ways it is, at least my success. And like, I can't be in the spaces and permeate certain spaces without having a certain amount of education. So like, I think that it's needed for me, and I think it's going to be needed for my partner. So that's something that I like say, hey, I'm not willing to continue.
I think this walks the line between just wanting something for you and your partner's like life and what have you, and elitism.
A little, but you know, you can't speak about having an education and not like touch on elitism, because education is elitism in itself. So
true. I think that, I mean, you know, I'm not your T, and you know, I'm mine, and I love you. But it's like, if somebody brought me on a date and we was like, you know, dating or whatever, and they say, you know, I'm not trying to take this any farther unless you were trying to enroll in school. Even if I was planning on enrolling in school and you hadn't known it yet or whatever, I would not be here for continuing it, because I'm like, why is that a condition for our relationship?
Too much pressure.
And let me say I didn't like roll it out like that, because it does sound and don't get me wrong, it is brass, but like at this point, like I think that people, you have to be semi cutthroat for what you want. And like, and just no shade, bitch, I'm 28 and I already know where I am and where I want to go, and like, it's no shade, like I'm not trying to fuck with anybody serious that ain't got no degree or is not trying to get a degree. And
that's valid. That's a valid
no
point.
shade.
That's valid.
Yeah, and for me, I'm 21, and I say that now. Like, if you're not, because I just feel like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry, but what the fuck are we doing? Like, there's a certain type of thing that I want to achieve in life, and there's certain type of goals, and I'm not going to look back 10 years later because we dating and you don't have a degree and you sitting here mad at me because I'm out here trying to flourish, and you sitting here like, oh, well, babe, you got to pull me with you sometimes. No. You're supposed to have some goals and some aspirations. Now, if you have goals and aspirations and you're focused on that, I'm all for that. But if you have no goals and no aspirations, or you're not trying to do nothing to better yourself, then I'm not fucking with you. And I know that may be a little cutthroat, and maybe it's not just an education standpoint, but if you have no goals and no fucking aspirations, I'm not here for it, and I'm not going to date you, and I'm going to tell you straight up.
Okay, we're conflating goals and aspirations with education, which doesn't make any sense to me. I'm just gonna say that right real quick. Like, before,
Well, some people have goals and aspirations to go to school and have a degree. So
no.
And
There's
some
nothing
of, wait,
wrong
hold
with
on.
that.
And
My
some of
nigga.
us don't. Some of us don't. And I'm one of those girls. Let me tell you something. First of all, I know that having a degree and everything is beautiful and it makes you feel like you're on the top of the world. But I am not that girl to have to do what someone is telling me to do. I love all the girls that are in school and they're doing their thing, but girl, school is not for me. And if my man says to me and we're getting into it and y'all are not feeling me because I don't go to school, that's a little shady. And I could be more than just what y'all are putting on the title of education. I could be more than that. Just because I don't go to school don't mean I ain't that girl, because I am that girl at the end of the day. I just want to say that.
That's why I said it speaks to elitism, because if you're conflating goals and aspirations with an education, not to take away from what you said, Trey, because I'm going to school in January. I have a goal and an aspiration to go to school and get a degree. That does not mean that, and I'm not saying that any of you saying this, but that does not mean that it doesn't make me better than somebody that doesn't want that. It doesn't make me better than somebody who's not interested in that wants something else for their life. Now, having goals and aspirations is 100% you have to have that if you're fucking with me, because otherwise you're just chilling, you're stagnant, and that's going to cause issues down the road. But something that you said earlier that I touched on, I was like, whoa, that isn't, so you saying like 10 years down the road when you're like, what, successful, and they're not, and they're like, whatever. And it's like, but you combine, so them getting you getting the education is guaranteed success, and them not having one,
that's a lie.
Guarantees them not having, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, these are the reasons why I'm saying, hey, I'm listening to what y'all are saying, and I'm taking conclusions from it. I'm not making no assumptions. I'm listening to what y'all are saying.
It goes to say that specifically back to my guy, when I said it was very much of like, this is not something that has to happen next semester. This is something that doesn't have to happen in 2 years. But I need to know that you're making plans to have a sound future.
To
is what
better
I'm
yourself.
saying. Yeah. Like, I think when I introduced school, it was like, okay, well, you got this going on, but baby, I don't see any of that being able to support both of us.
Wait a minute.
In the 2 or 3 years. So
and let me say,
that's what I meant when I like introduced school as another option.
I'm not saying you have to be college educated.
No.
Say that
I'm
again,
saying
'cause
that you have to have some type of future to better yourself, some type of plan to better yourself. You can be a fucking carpenter. I don't care.
I was about to say, because if the girls
Bitch,
got 2 or 3
if you
jobs
wanna-
and 4 or 5 jobs, bitch, and they doing what they do, listen, do not knock my hustle. Because if I got 2 or 3 jobs and you don't feel like I'm supporting you enough, then what the fuck? Don't be like, oh, you have to go to school. No, bitch, I can have 6 or 7 jobs, bitch, and I got a beautiful.
And that's what
beautiful
irritates
fucking
me.
mansion behind me. No,
Black gays with degrees, man. Like, and I'm
Wait,
not.
hold it,
This
hold
is
it,
not
hold
a read.
it, hold it.
This is not a read to all. I'm saying like the some that I have encountered that have this attitude, they piss me off. It's like, yo, you're really not better. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have gained knowledge, and that's beautiful and that's amazing. But why are you using it as a weapon? Don't use your knowledge and your degree as a bludgeon. You know what I'm saying? Don't bludgeon people to death with it. Like, yeah, I got this and this, so you MFs should be giving me this and that and this, and it's like, yo. Elitism in general in the gay community is very prevalent and very trash.
Yeah.
But like, that's like a special focus on like education. It's like, I'm glad you getting your education, boo. Get your shit.
Do your thing.
But don't look down on me from the pedestal that you built for yourself. That's foul, yo.
Yeah.
But I think as us as gay men and just as gay black men, to ignore the fact that you have to have a degree in order to be validated in certain spaces.
In white spaces.
No.
No, not in just white spaces. Let's be clear here.
Yes, please.
People, you're going to be looked. No, you have to be. The thing is, sometimes having a degree means you know what the fuck you're talking about.
bitch, I don't need a degree to know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's a
can just
motherfucking lie.
I'm sorry.
I
sorry,
don't need
but
a degree to know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I'm not going to go
No.
into the marketing room and say, well, look, I didn't graduate, but I know that this is much better. And they're going to look at you like, yo, I've been going to school for years. You're not going to walk up in here and say that shit. I don't care if you're white, you're black, you're anything. They're not going to allow you. And to live in this false reality that you're going to think that you're just going to walk somewhere and be like, well, I don't have a degree and I'm not taking any steps to
But there's some
even
people who
learn
haven't
any of the
graduated school, bitch, and
process.
make it do what
We're
it do.
going to gonna let me do what I'm gonna do. No.
You're living in an absolute statement castle. Now, you
I love you.
You're making absolute statements like, you know, oh, you gotta have a degree to know what the fuck you're talking about. That's not true.
That's not true.
Well, let
And
me
you
say-
then you made an isolated example talking about marketing, and it's like, yo, like, okay, duh, like you can't walk into that space and you know whatever. But you just said you gotta have a degree to know what you fuck you talking about.
Are you gonna
But-
be a teacher and do the same thing? Like what the fuck? Like what's
That's
spaces are
his.
you walking in?
I'm gonna say specifically for my journey, I've recognized as being for me. I recognize that you cannot be the spaces that I want to permeate and want to be a part of. I have to have a degree, and that's the
There you
motherfucking
go.
black ass
Be
bottom
specific.
line. You know?
Okay, and then I agree with me. Maybe I said it the wrong way. The spaces that I want to be in, the places that I want to go, you will not be looked at as somebody that knows what they're talking about without your degree. And so for me, I'm not, let me be clear here. I'm not throwing shade at anybody that doesn't have a degree. I'm not trying to come for anybody that doesn't have a degree.
Because I don't have one now, bitch.
I don't have one now.
Bitch, I
so
don't have one
I'm
neither.
working towards it. But what I'm saying is I'm all about bettering myself. And if you're not on the path of bettering yourself, whether it's a college degree, whether it's a carpenter's, you're a carpenter or you're a mechanic or anything, I'm not fucking with you. That's point blank, period.
And the only point that I was trying to make is that bettering yourself is a degree is not the only way to get there.
And
that is all I was trying to say.
And we agree most certainly on that. But
Yes.
I want to say this. I was in the I got sad because I was in the mirror, and we're gonna answer this question, but I was just realizing that I haven't been in love or been in like something serious because my desires and my wants separate me from a lot of people. And bringing this to this conversation, like, bitch, I would never be able to be. This is about to sound so rude, but I would never be able to like be in love or have like a committed relationship with someone that's like a carpenter because that's not where my life is headed, like financially, aesthetically, or anything. And I have to be unapologetic about that. Like it's that's what it's giving. And again, our desires and our wants separate us from friendships, from people that could love us and could help us. But it is what it is at the end of the day. And that's something that I don't apologize for at all.
And you shouldn't.
That was real spicy, bitch. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all was.
I didn't know it was going to give that. I'm sorry.
Don't bitch, don't apologize now. You said what the fuck you said, girl.
Look, we will take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all. It's Sister Good Puss. What's good? You're listening to him. Make sure you check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Him Podcast. And go ahead and step into our world, bitch. Visit himpodcast.com, girl. Bye.
Hey, y'all, we are back. That was so spicy and so crazy.
The clothes is out, bitch.
But we coming with a new little discussion. We were talking about dating up. Do y'all date up or do y'all like to date down? What is your preference? Let me hear it out. Speak it out. Tell it. Say your piece.
And also, like, before you start, what is your like, when you answer, what's your definition of dating up to you?
Okay, Malik, you go, because you obviously feeling this.
Oh, I mean, with me, I think dating up is financially, it could be education wise, it could be networking wise. It depends on what your purpose is for dating. And for me, it's more so to like experience different things and events in New York City. So I guess I date up financially. And I do it, but also like I think that I date older men. So that kind of happens, you know. It's not like a thing like it. I don't search to date up, but since I date older men, usually they are more financially well off than I am. And then also with me being new to the city, I'm dating people who either are from here or have been living here for a while, so they are quite stable. And I live for it. But there's also like a thing of when you do date up, like you have certain people that like to hold things over your head. So you want to make sure like you're dating the right people, because nothing's worse than like dating someone and they're like, oh yeah, like they really feeling it because they feel like, they're tricking off or something. Like, I don't really like that. So yeah.
I would say I think I'm the same way. Age wise, I'm 21. I'm the baby, so I don't date anybody younger than me. I've never done that, and I refuse to do that. And I always date somebody older who has more experience, more knowledge in certain things, just because that adds to who I am. And that allows me to be in spaces where a 21-year-old wouldn't be. I mean, a bitch likes a good trip to a museum and learning about art and philosophy and things of that nature. And certain older people are interested in those types of things. And that allows me, dating up allows me to do that. I rarely date down. And by down, I mean younger than me. So you 20 maybe. You hitting 18, 19, baby.
I can't even remember
No.
back that far, bitch. Like, girl, what was I going when I was 19? So,
Bitch, you was looking for the men's. at
okay,
19,
I
girl.
think I was 21 dating someone 27. So,
Bitch, I was 20. I mean, I was 19 dating older. I mean, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I was known like, Trey got a boyfriend. Yeah, he old though.
because that's what I do.
Yeah, and when I say old, now I do have age limits. I ain't running
I'm
around
about-
here dating no 60-year-old. Now, don't you do it. I ain't no Anna Nicole now. I'm not doing it. I gotta stay well within my limits.
It's nothing wrong with dating 6-year-olds. I just want to say I've been on a couple dates with some older guys, and 60 is not that bad. I'm just saying.
Bitch, are you pushing a damn wheelchair? With
No,
them?
60 is not pushing a wheelchair because there's some guys out here that 6 years old bitch that look 40 or maybe 30, and they'll blow your motherfucking mind and have blown mine too. But we're not gonna go there. But I've dated down recently, and I've dated down recently, and yeah, I've just dated down. And I honestly looked at this person's page the other day, and it brought back some memories of like, I know I was dating down and like not being on the level that I should be, but I miss him. And some of the things that we like talked about and stuff, even though he's not on my level, it's just like certain like events or like things that we went to that I was just like, wow, even though he's younger than me, I still like can vibe with him. And we had like good moments. And you would say that someone that's my age should be doing like not talking to someone young, but I've done it and I'm not ashamed to say it.
I want to choose my words carefully here.
You better choose them fucking carefully.
No, my dating up down scale is related directly to emotional maturity, and then that has a subsection of age. I don't care about financially. I don't care about educationally. Maybe I will if I get a little older, or maybe when I start school, or who knows? Because I mean, I can't speak for the future. But right now, those things don't bother me. What bothers me is where you at mentally. And the reason why that matters so much to me is because I used to be a little shit. I was awful. I had internalized homophobia, transphobia. I was a misogynist. It was awful. And I grew and I learned and I met amazing people, and I'm a different person than I was. And I can't deal with that anymore. I don't judge you necessarily for having those sorts of views, but I can't be around you, especially not romantically. You got to be operating on the same wavelength as me or higher. And so that's where the dating up thing comes in. If you are farther along than I am, that gets me interested because I can learn from you. And I'm not saying people that are younger tend to be, more emotionally immature. So I don't tend to mess with them because, they're where I was when I was their age, and it doesn't work for me. I'm 27. And I probably wouldn't date anybody younger than 25. If I did, you'd have to, have your shit together, like emotionally, like, whatever. But in other areas, I mean, I'm poor as fuck. So it's like, I ain't worried about, what I'm saying? We can be poor together, bro. Like, and be working towards, our future together, whatever. I ain't worried about all that. And I'm just starting school as a 27-year-old myself. So I ain't worried about the educational shit either, but you got to have your shit together emotionally, because I'm trying, and I'm still a mess sometimes, but I am actively trying. I'm open to being wrong, and even when I make a decision about something, I examine it later, and I'm like, was that the right decision? And, okay, make the right one next time. Like, I'm constantly doing that with myself and how I interact with people, and you should be doing the same. So if you're not doing that, then we can't fuck with each other.
Here's a little side note. He's still a little shit. So he may not be the
Shit.
same way and have different mentality and thoughts about certain topics, but he's still a little shit.
Yeah.
So
Go on.
before you even think about this, he's still one. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah.
So I randomly saw I was having a talk with Stevie and I also talked to Trey, but I was on the phone with Trey when I saw the guy, but literally saw this guy or a guy that I was in a relationship with. He came to my school, not really sure why he was there, but I'm hoping he was there to enroll. Because that was the conversation I had with him about being in school. But no, like I saw him and was totally not off guard, but just a little surprised because he doesn't go to my school, so there was really no reason for him to be there. But you know, we had an amazing time together this summer and our experience was great. A little gagging how it ended just because like we never argued, we never got into any fights. So for it to give what it gives now, it's kind of, it gags me every time. But anywho, I recently blocked him just because when I was going to therapy, she was just saying like, girl, set up boundaries. Like you can't let people just continue to like be who they want to be in your life, you know? And so like I had to block him and everything has been great. So when I saw him, I spoke to him because like, I'm not mad at him. Like I don't have any, like, I don't harbor any bad feelings for him. I just don't need him texting me. Like, we don't have anything to say on like a personal level. But like, if I'm out and about, girl, hey, you know, we drinking, I'm great. But when I saw him, he still has that anger in his eyes that he had when I left him. And it's something that really bothers me because it's just like over these last few weeks, I've been able to like put things into different perspectives and just feel better about myself and the relationship afterwards. But it's just like, nigga, you're still feeling petty. And connecting this to what like Aaron said, I just need a higher level of emotional intelligence, you know? I think Black men were beautiful, the sex is great, but no one is really ready to deal with the emotional, what's under the surface. And it's literally some shit down there that is nasty and disgusting. And I'm ready to face it. But it's some people out there that aren't ready to face it. And for those of you, I understand because it's hard, but I'm not willing to deal with anybody that's not ready to face their personal demons.
Especially when it comes to anger, man. Like, and I touched on this on previous episodes. Like when I get mad, man, I shut down. I don't tend to handle it in a healthy way, but I'm aware of it. And whenever I get angry, I try to examine it and not allow myself to withdraw, because, you know, shoving it under a rug never helps. So, I'm aware of my issues and I'm trying actively to work on them on a case by case basis. And I see myself getting better at it. And, you know, anger is such a part of a Black man's life, from birth.
Can you say that again, please?
Anger is such, I'm add on to it. Anger is such an integral part of a Black man's life. It's formative from, you know, birth all the way up to you being a man. It's a part of who you are. It's like in your bones, but it's what you choose to do with it that matters. And whether you project it outwards in a violent way, or if you feed that into a passion about what you care about, or if you just shut it away and let it fester, you know, these sorts of things have myriad effects on your life and who you're interacting with. And that's a big part of emotional maturity as well. So you got to have something going on there that's like headed in a positive direction at least.
And I just want to say one last thing. It really just sucks because like literally when I saw, you know, him, literally this is the guy that slows, like he stops time for me. Like literally my heart melts. This is the finest nigga. Like, and I talk to some fine niggas, but literally like just as far as love and relationship and who I want to be with, he serves my nerve, honey. But I literally, I choose me, you know, and like I have to have some sanity in my life, and it's literally when he's in my life, it's chaotic, and I can't.
Well, thank you for choosing us, because
Okay, right.
we will be right back. Hey y'all, it's Trey. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Instagram. we be lonely sometimes and we want to have conversations with y'all. So always use the hashtag him on Twitter and Instagram. And don't forget our pages are Him Podcast. And don't forget to check our website, himpodcast.com. Love y'all. Y'all, we are back, and we just want to let y'all know we are ending the show. And, bitch, don't go nowhere every Wednesday because we ain't going nowhere. And make sure you check us out on Twitter and Instagram. You all know it's at Him Podcast. And check our fucking website out. Like, I don't understand. Do y'all not like us? Because you should be really checking our website out and watching these blog posts
Okay, girl.
at himpodcast.com.
No shade.
Come on now. Get with the program. We got a website for a reason. I worked goddamn very hard on it.
She promotes this down.
Good
Yes,
Lord.
mama.
Girl.
I love y'all. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sappy, that was not that cute. Like I said, we are going. We love y'all. Peace.
Yeah,
Bye.
baby.